Hey, you guys, it's Kati Whitledge. It's Thursday, and that means that we are together. It's you and I. And today we're talking about Be the Hero's Guide. I want you to think about your favorite movies. Who is the hero of the movie? So if you think of the movie Rocky or Karate Kid, or even if you have kids, you might think of Kung Fu Panda. You might think of the movie Goodwill Hunting. How powerful was that movie? You might think of movies like The Ring, Lord of the Rings. Not The Ring, that's insane. Lord of the Rings. So, when you think about those movies, you think about the hero of the movie. Now think of this. Every hero needs a guide. Every hero needs a guide. Mr. Miyagi helped the Karate Kid be the hero. In Kung Fu Panda, it was Master Shifu who helped Po realize his full potential and unlock that, even though he threw shade at him big time prior to. In Goodwill Hunting, Dr. Sean, played by Robin Williams, helped Matt Damon find like his truth and realize what he really wanted in life and what was really important to him. Every single hero needs a guide. And I promise you that every successful person that you know, and even when you think about your own life, you have a guide. You couldn't be the hero of your own life story without guides to get you there. So I want to give you a couple fun things today. First, throughout your life, in different seasons of your life, whether that be childhood, adolescence, your teen years, your college years, your early professional path, where you're at even today, how you got to this place today, who have been the guides in your life that you really look back and say, wow, I couldn't have gotten here without their help. I want you to reach out to them and let them know. It is life-giving for you, but it's even more life-giving for them, and most people are not given thanks or recognized for the way that they help others. It's just kind of a forgotten thing. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus heals 10 lepers and they're all healed after years and years of leprosy. They all are like, oh my goodness. They run off to see their family except for one. One out of the 10, oh, it makes me emotional, came back and thanked Jesus for healing him. So you're not going to maybe get in your own life, if you've helped anybody, that recognition, that gratitude may not be publicly recognized or recognized at all. But every single day, you have the power to impact somebody's life positively, um, or in an unbelievable way. Recently, I'll just share, and I'm not like a saint, okay? I've probably ruined people's days in the past, or maybe there are times I've made somebody's day. This is an example of making somebody's day. I'm at church, and my friend, her daughter's there, and I haven't seen her daughter for only like maybe a couple months. But I look at her and I was like, what is going on with you? Are you taller? You look so tall and skinny and lean and awesome and bright and amazing. And she got a little choked, like her eyes teared up, and she's like, thanks. And then my friend, who's the mom, says, can I tell Katie what you're doing? And she's like, sure, mom. And then my friend says, Katie, she's given up sugar. And I was like, wow. I was like, you will never regret this. I know it's not easy. And by the way, when people are like, what does that mean? What does it mean to give up sugar? How could you do it? It means I have the apple, not the apple pie. And I'm so proud of her. I said, these habits that she's created. Well, let me get to this. So we leave church. I'm so proud of her. Towards the end of the night, I get this text from my friend saying, Katie, you made my daughter's whole day. She was trying to play it cool in front of you, but I know she felt so loved. And you are the first person to notice and say anything about the way her changes have taken place in her life. And she was so thankful for that. And I replied, like, I'm excited for her. She is building habits that are going to propel her to have this amazing confidence to step into the fullness of who God created her to be. So, you guys, not only should you go back and thank the guides that have played a role in your story of your life, but remember, you have the opportunity as a salon or spa owner or a leader in this industry to have this amazing impact in the lives of others. So, be the hero's guide, you guys. Be the Dr. Sean McGuire to the Goodwill Hunting Matt Damon. This is what it's all about. So, most people naturally want to be their own hero of their own story, but you're like, I'm going to do it myself. I don't need anybody. You are really stalling how much potential you have, and you're not really giving any room for anybody else to come along the ride with you. Usually, successful people aren't in it alone, they're never in it alone. And so, we are really made for community. We are made to rely and depend on one another and lean on each other. You're not going to have every single strength and every category of life and business that is necessary to reach unparalleled levels of success. You are going to need to surround yourself with people better than you, wiser, more experienced. All of those areas or all of those attributes are necessary if you want to be successful. I'm going to tell you, what does a guide possess? What are the characteristics of a guide who is powerful in helping somebody become the hero of their own lives? And they have two things. They have, first, empathy. They have this ability to see people and understand where they're at and maybe even the challenges they're currently facing, where they're at and what they're struggling with right now. So empathy is number one. And number two is authority. So a great guide is going to have the competence and the plan to help you win. So sometimes you're actually hiring your guide, whether that be a business coach, a life coach, a fitness coach, a nutritional coach, a functional medical advisor, a board of advisors. You get to choose who those people are oftentimes in your life. And sometimes you're even investing in hiring that person and saying, you're the type of person I want to learn from or to be in my life and be my guide. I want you to think about when you're the guide for a team. There's a couple of nuances. First, is the way that you're leading them, does it resonate with them? And I've really tried to work on this when I'm giving keynote talks at various events where it's less about me and more about you. Even when I wrote my book, I changed it from like, we as salon owners, or when we go to work every day, when um, we do this and that. Like, I change it all to when you show up to work, when you look at your team, so that people can identify themselves in this story and it's not about you. If you make it about your glory or you're going to lose the audience or lose your team that you're trying to lead. You need to make it about them. So whatever you're pitching or whatever you're presenting or the relationships you're building, whomever that is with, it needs to resonate with them, which means you simply make it about them. And then also, how do you build multipliers? How do you look at people and use their capability to bring out the brilliance in others? So you look at them, you see what they're capable of, you bring out their brilliance. Because on the flip side, people that you are around might diminish you, whether they mean to or not, but diminishers often need to be the smartest people in the room. And here's the thing, you might walk into a room and realize you are the most seasoned. You are actually the smartest. You have the most experience. But if you are there to lead and be the guide and help them realize their full potential and be the hero of their lives, how do you flip that knowledge of knowing like you're bringing the most to how do I pull the most out of them? How do I guide them into having the epiphanies? And then they're like, I found this out. And they may not realize that you helped pull it out of them. That's okay. I once heard that if you can do so much if you don't care who gets the credit for it. You can do endless amounts of things. The sky is the limit if you're not concerned about who gets the credit for it. So, as a leader in this industry, it's not about your recognition or am I going to be thanked for this? And most owners I talk to say, this is completely a thankless job, but it's not about being shown that gratitude. when they win, you're going to win. It just may not show up in that public recognition or that one-on-one, "Hey, I'm so thankful for you." Hopefully, you will get some of that because of course it feels good, but you are called to pull the hero out of every single person that you lead. And it's a really cool calling. So as owners, you are called to be the guide for your salon leaders. You shouldn't be every person's guide. It's not reasonable for larger teams for the owner to oversee every single person. So as your company grows, you as an owner, you're going to start just guiding the few leaders at the top. Then leaders, your role is to guide the team. Now, if you have multiple leaders, you're going to guide a group of people. You can't really guide everybody. I often refer to biblical examples. And I think there's a reason that Jesus had 12 disciples. Okay. So he didn't have 1,000 disciples. Of course, there is discipleship when you're following the way, the truth, the life. That's Jesus. But to be discipled by one individual, like it is really challenging when you have, let's just say you have 4 people you lead. Okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, this will be good because you can see I'm holding up my 4 fingers. You have 4 people that you lead. Well, guess what? You have a relationship dynamic with this person and this person. That's a group of 3. Now you have a dynamic with this and this person. That's a group of 4. Now you have a dynamic with all 4. That's a group of 5. Hey, but this person and this person over here, they have their own dynamic and you're part of that. So do these 2 people. They have their own dynamic and you're part of that. So realistically, when you're just leading only 4 people, you have like 16 relationship dynamics in just those 4 people alone. That is wild. So it is unreasonable to lead more than, I would say, 8 to 12 people, depending on your team size. And by the way, I don't expect that everybody's going to have this perfectly figured out, but the goal as a leader is literally to create more leaders. This is your number one mission. How am I going to work to create more leaders? What it doesn't look like is you having to be the one always to come in as a leader and save the day. When you are creating leaders, you are helping them embrace mistakes, failures, be their own problem solvers. It doesn't mean you come in and you get to take the credit for the outcomes. Even if you reasonably could say you had a hand in it, you are looking to shine the light on somebody else. You're saying, well, no, it's all them. And here's why it's all them. And be genuine with that. And same with micromanaging. It's very hard sometimes for owners with strong visions to release full ownership of a responsibility, a project, a role. I think of education or training, and you train the trainers to go train your team. They're not going to be you. They're not going to do it just like you. That's okay. They're going to pull out magic in people that is unique to their style. And it's your role to help bring out the magic in them so they feel confident and competent to go and do what they're called to do. So, leaders, it's your role to build more leaders. So, focus on what matters to the people I'm leading. People want a guide that's going to help them elevate their entire life, not just their career, not just their time behind the chair. If they're joining your team, it's because they feel like being here, I'm going to have a better life. And what does that mean to them? They might value their financial success. They might value being able to learn as much as possible to get really, really good at their craft. So that would be maybe education training. They might value their lifestyle and want and know that here they're also going to have the financial capabilities, the time off capabilities to go and have travel and experiences for their lives, or have a family. And there's just so many things that people want for their own dreams. Find out what they are. And again, this is why you really can't lead more than 8 to 12 people. To have that responsibility to help make everybody's dreams come true, or even just remember like what matters to each person, that's very, very hard to do. So I want you to just be mindful of that. So if you're a leader, you're overseeing the team. And then, by the way, stylist behind the chair. If you are behind the chair, if you're in a treatment room, if you are working with guests, your role is to be the guide to help the client be the hero in their own lives. This is less about how great you are at what you do, more about how great you can help them feel, how great their lives are going to be, how much easier or how much more confident they're going to live by being in your presence, by having your help. It's coming alongside them in their journey. I know that we're good at this because we care deeply about our clients. We look at them, we know their lives, we know their challenges. They tell us more intimate things than they probably tell some of their family members. We're kind of the safer space for them to be themselves and share what's going on in their lives. We know about their kids or their work status or their relationship status. Um, you guys, it's a really, really honorable place to be in somebody's life, and we shouldn't take that lightly. And we could be the guide to help them be the hero of their lives in the way that we do it. That is so, so special of a calling. I just love it so much. So, really, I want to share this quote with you because I thought this landed big time. The client isn't coming to admire your talent, they're coming so your talent can transform their lives. This means that if you're the guide to anybody, whether it's other leaders, other owners, other stylists, other your clients, you are giving them your full undivided attention, active listening, and you're providing solutions that really matter the most to them. Not It's not about hitting your KPIs because, like, if you're focused on hitting your goals, people sense that and they're going to feel that. If you're focused on genuinely caring about them, the things are going to happen naturally. If I care about you and you're coming to me with thinning hair, and I'm like, girl, I've got you. Like, here's a couple places we could stir. What makes sense to you? Which do you feel most comfortable investing time and energy in? They're going to be like, thank you. My gosh, let's start here. That becomes a different type of relationship than well, if I sell them this, that'll give me the most return, or this will give me the highest percentage of retail sales, or this will give me the highest service sales. And then I make, it's less about that, more about the relationship. If you focus on that empathy of seeing them, understanding them, and then the authority of like, I have the answers for you, you are going to be wildly successful. And that role right there is the guide. You are being the hero's guide, you guys. I love all of these things. So let me just share a few things. As a salon owner, look at leaders. Look at the leader. You get to say at the end of the day, as a salon owner who is the guide, you say, look at the leaders we've empowered. Look at the leaders we've empowered. If you're a leader overseeing team members, you say, I have the questions to help you find the answer. So you're really opening up the door to empower them to have those epiphanies and feel like they've come to it, but you've guided them to that. And then for stylists with clients, it's here is how we achieve your dream hair together. This is kind of the outcomes of that relationship dynamic. Man, you guys, this is just such a touching topic of like, how do you be the hero's guide in every area of your life for different relationship dynamics? So whether you're in a salon and you're leading team members, or you're in a marriage, um, you have kids, maybe you play a totally different role in a totally different industry. Maybe you're in the industry and you play a different role than being in a salon. But this is what we are called to do. And we really are built for this. Just remember that perfection is not necessary, that it's really about authenticity and finding out what matters most to people and helping them reach their full potential. You are made for this and you can do this, you guys. This is a final message to owners. If you've built a business where you are the hero, congratulations, you built a cage where you're the only one that can fix the locks. It's not good for you to be the hero because you can't be the only one to fix the locks. You don't want to be within a cage. Unlock that mother effing cage, step outside into the world of relying and depending on one another which takes trust, vulnerability, and courage, strength, and trusting the process, faithfulness, all those things, but it will pay off. And over time, you're going to look back, and I'm ruining his last name, Phil, who was the coach to Michael Jordan on the Bulls team. Why can I? Phil, was it Phil Jackson? Am I remembering that right? But think about, like, nobody's talking about Phil Jackson. I hope I'm not bombing his name. Nobody's talking about him all these years later. They're talking about Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan could not have reached his levels of success without his team around him. He needed Scottie Pippen. He needed his coach. You have the opportunity to maybe have a thankless position in life, but you can go the distance. You can have an unbelievable amount of success if you're not concerned about who gets the credit for it. So be the hero's guide for the people in your life, you guys. Love you. I love being with you on Thursdays. As always, have an awesome day and stay strong.
Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.